David A. Sampson. He's the president and CEO of the American Property Casualty Insurance Association. David, thanks for stopping by. Our topic today is what you can do about the cost of insurance when everything is getting more expensive. David, that's the biggest thing, right? All prices keep going up. I don't care what people say about inflation. The grocery store still seems very expensive. Everywhere still seems uh, prices keep going up. I guess it's making up for some of that time, but they people cut back in things, don't they?
Well, they have to because real wages are not keeping pace with the rate of inflation. We experienced a 40-year record high inflation that peaked in 2021, and although we're off of that peak, uh, prices are still increasing. The rate of increases slowed down, but inflation rates are still increasing at about a rate of about 2.4%, according to the latest Fed estimate.
I can tell by going to the grocery store, it's not changed. Thank goodness I'm an entrepreneur that can just go ahead and say, I got to go and keep building the business. So that's my saving grace. But I feel bad for everyone else. That's again, the wages are not increasing and the costs are increasing. So what about insurance? This is a big thing because I know for a fact people are cutting back on, a lot of the service-based businesses I deal with are saying, hey, you know what? They're cutting back because of these rising costs. So what are the main reasons insurance premiums are rising and how can consumers lower their insurance premiums?
Great question. There are really three factors that are driving rising insurance premiums. The first is inflation that we've talked about. Home construction labor has increased 36% over the last 5 years. Home construction materials have increased 42% over the last 5 years, far in excess of the CPI index. And that leads directly into the second major factor driving insurance premium increases, which is increased storms and natural catastrophes. Uh, uh, we are coming off the costliest 5-year period in history for storm losses in the insurance industry, $506 billion over the past 5 years.
Wow.
And when you have more storm activity on top of that increase in home construction labor and materials, that's a major factor. And then the third major factor is runaway lawsuit abuse that's driving up the cost of everything from gas to groceries for everyone. Everyone pays when lawsuit abuse is running away.
Uh, you say that the legal system abuse is driving up costs for insurance, but also for many other goods and services. And you call it a tort tax. Explain a little bit more of that to me, for me.
Yeah. So the tort tax calculated by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Institute for Legal Reform factors in what is the added cost to goods and services that the average family buys that is attributable to lawsuit abuse. And they put that number at $4,200 for a family of four on goods and services they buy every single year. I noticed just a couple of days ago, Uber announced that 36% of the cost of every fare is attributable to insurance costs that are being driven by legal system abuse. So that's just one service that people frequently use, that they can see the impact of lawsuit abuse that Uber is experiencing and how it drives up their fares. But it's really driven by third-party litigation financing, which means that there are investors that are investing in lawsuits that have no personal interest in it. They haven't experienced a loss, but they're providing the money to finance these lawsuits in the expectation of very high, massive profits whenever these nuclear or thermonuclear verdicts are handed down. And these shadowy investors, as I said, are making massive profits. A lot of this money is coming from outside of the United States. They're coming from foreign sovereign wealth funds that are investing in these lawsuits. They're coming from wealthy individuals outside of the United States that are looking for very high rates of return. And they're just treating the American judicial system as if it were another financially engineered product. And that is having an impact on Main Street businesses. It's having an impact on consumers. And it's why it's one of our top priorities to try to get this under control.
In what ways do you think we can? How are we going to be able to do this in a way so the premiums? Because what I know what happens, David, and this is the sad part: people can't afford their premiums, so they're not insured, and then they lose everything.
Yeah. So there are a number of ways that we can address this. With regard to lawsuit abuse, the most important factor there is transparency in third-party litigation financing, so that we know who's actually behind the lawsuits. And that is action that can be taken at the state level. Congress is considering action in federal courts for that. But for the individual consumer, what I would recommend is when your policy comes due, shop around. Insurance is a highly competitive industry, and there are many insurers that want your business. So contact your agent or broker whenever your policy comes due, and see about getting the best coverage at the best price. Some of the other tactics that people can do is consider increasing your deductibles. Increasing your deductible if you have a loss will save you on your monthly insurance premiums. Consider bundling your home and auto policies. That often results in discounts. Ask your insurer if they have telematic products. If you're a safe driver, that can significantly reduce your auto premiums. And if you're not driving as much as you used to, there are many companies now that offer pay-as-you-go insurance policies. So you only pay when you're actually driving your vehicle per mile. And then look for opportunities to make your own home more resilient when storms and disasters hit, by upgrading your roofing materials, windows. If you're thinking about replacing your windows or your roof, ask to make sure if they're storm rated.
All right. Well, this is great information. Where's the best place, David, people can learn more about you and what you're doing, and how people can be involved and help?
Well, folks can go to apci.org/insurance, and there's a lot more detail and recommendations on how you can help control your insurance premiums.
Well, we appreciate it, David. Thanks for stopping by. I'll definitely be in touch. I'll try to connect with you on LinkedIn. We'll kind of keep that relationship going. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Neil, really
All right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a